The Acolyte was definitely a failure with audiences. However, now we're finding out what may have terrified Disney and Lucasfilm. The actual budget has been released. And yes, it balloons out far beyond what was originally reported in the press. Today we'll tell you exactly how much it cost, why Disney is depressed, and we'll even break it down how much the Acolyte cost per minute. You won't believe it. Hello folks, and welcome back to the Pro Channel, the place that is explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve, and diving deep with exclusives that you just have to hear. Today we've got Spencer from Bounding Into Comics, as well as Lauren from That Park Place, both of them experts with their analysis of Star Wars. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thanks Happy to be here, bro. Always a pleasure.
All right, folks, we've got a major exclusive ready to go for you, and we're excited to bring it to you. This is a big one, and Jonas J. Campbell, investigative reporter for That Park Place, has been the man who uncovered it. And all we ask of you as we get ready to dive in is, could you please uncover that like button? Click it, and we would love that. All right, here we go. Gentlemen, this is over at thatparkplace.com. It's by Jonas J. Campbell. It says, exclusive, Star Wars The Acolyte, real costs exploded to $230 million, according to new tax documents. Now, this is opposed, I would say, to what we were led to believe when they went to the media and said $180 million. We'll talk about how they had that number in just a moment. It's also inside the article. All right, here we go, folks. United Kingdom tax documents filed by the Walt Disney Company's UK branch reveal that Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company spent over 172 million British pounds on the production of The Acolyte, a prequel series set in the Disney Star Wars universe. That adds up to 231 million US dollars. In an interview with Vanity Fair, the Acolyte series creator Leslie Headland publicly claimed the show cost $180 million, which was assumed by several, or most, or basically everyone, to be stating it in US dollars. However, it is evident that if Headland had knowledge of the series' financials, she was more likely referencing Great British pounds. Accounting for exchange rates at the time of this article, that means the Acolyte cost almost 230 million US dollars. But it gets worse, gentlemen, because that is the production budget. That is not the marketing budget. That doesn't cover the premiere. That doesn't cover going out and doing the press tours. That doesn't cover any of that. So you add all that in, this is at least $250 million that was completely wasted. Spencer, I'll go to you first on this one. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I'm at right now. I am stunned. I am genuinely stunned. I'm stunned at the fact that this is actually how much it costs, $230 million. Again, unfathomable. Imagine everything else they could have produced, everything else they could have spent more money on to make better. Maybe Agatha wouldn't be that bad. Maybe it wouldn't exist at all. Maybe we would have gotten all the canned Avengers movies that we were planned. But I think I'm more in awe of Leslie Headland just lying like that, doing such it's $180 million, but not mentioning which currency. That just seems unfathomable to me. Like, that seems so. I'm stunned. I am shocked.
Spencer, when you factor in the marketing, which is not included in these tax documents because the tax documents are solely related to the production in the UK. When you add in the marketing, I mean, I'm being so generous, it's ridiculous to say that it cost $20 million. This is in excess of $250 million, and it gets worse. Let me show you this.
I don't know how that's possible.
With 8 episodes in the series, this means that Lucasfilm, under Kathleen Kennedy, allowed the budget of the now canceled show to balloon to $28.75. We'll round it up, folks. $29 million per episode. And there was no audience for this. It barely ever appeared on the Nielsen charts. Lauren, it's yet another piece of evidence in a long list, a portfolio of evidence that Kathleen Kennedy simply doesn't know what she's doing. Lauren, what say you about all of this? Crazy.
Here's the point that I would make. If these numbers are true, and you're factoring in the marketing costs and all of that, that means that this series was approaching the cost at the low end of the production of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
It's a good point. That's a really, really good point. Lauren, let me show you a quote, and you and Spencer have fun with this quote because it's something special. Here we go. Out of that Park Place again, but this one quoting the New York Times. This is Kathleen Kennedy talking about the Acolyte before we realized how much it cost. She said, "My belief is that storytelling does need to be representative of all people. That's an easy decision for me." She continued, "Operating with these giant franchises now with social media and the level of expectation, it's terrifying. I think Leslie has struggled a little bit with that. I think a lot of the women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a bit more. Because of the fan base being so male-dominated, they sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal. I think at this point, we don't have to make this be about women or men or personal flaws. We could go into the Harvey Weinstein stuff. Bottom line is, when you're spending nearly $30 million an episode, when you don't attract an audience, when you have a show this bad, this poorly made, and this poorly received, costing over $250 million, you got a problem. And I would not be surprised at this point because of now of this cost, which is far in excess of what we originally thought. Remember, it was originally reported 180. I think there's a chance this gets willowed now. And what that means is this could actually be taken completely off of Disney Plus and used as a tax write-down. Guys, any argument there against it? Would they save it just because it's Star Wars?
That would be that's the only thing keeping it on Disney Plus right now. I think the fact that A, it's a Star Wars production, and B, it's there to own the chuds. I don't think that is Disney willing to take such a public tucking their tail and running with taking the Acolyte down, because that would just be handing us confirmation that all of our analysis, all of your reports here, all of your scoops at that Park Place on your channel, on everybody's channels, they would have all been right. And I don't know, we've seen in the past that Disney is not the company that is willing to go, yeah, okay, we'll take our shiner and keep going. They double down and they triple down. So maybe if they spent, $250 million just making this show, I can see them easily going, well, let's keep what would they make back on it? Let's say 100 million. Let's save that and just sink it into keeping it on the servers for all of 5 people to watch. There's no business acumen over there anymore.
Let's bring in the author of the article himself, Jonas J. Campbell, joining us now. Jonas,
Hello.
welcome to the party. And we've been talking about your discovery in terms of the tax documents from the UK, and that now places this. As we've been talking about, Jonas, we've been discussing that this is only for production. So once you add marketing, this is almost certainly in excess of $250 million. But it turns out that shouldn't be too shocking, because $362 million is what it costs to make Andor. $362 million.
And that's only as of the end of 2022 for Andor. And they've definitely been in a production since then.
So is this then the tax documents? Are they the final tally for the Acolyte for the production, or is there anything outstanding?
I really don't think that this is the end for the Acolyte, because this is as of September 24th.
Oh, come on. Do you mean it goes higher?
So the show released in June of this year, June 4th of this year. So that would mean that they didn't touch it between September 24th of last year and June 4th of this year. And I'm going to say Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, Marvel, I mean, they're not exactly known for letting things lie for a long period of time.
Well, take out the word letting, and they are known for that.
well, they did try to slip that 100. It cost 180 million, and then nobody asked if that's dollars.
That's what I told Pro a minute ago. I am absolutely stunned by that. It's so egregious, so bold-faced. Like, are you kidding me?
Okay, so here's something to look at, guys. The Acolyte total runtime is 329 minutes. Okay, so let's find out exactly how much.
Are you counting credits in that?
I was just going to ask
Absolutely. We'll give them the benefit that they need. 5 hours, 29 minutes is exactly the full runtime of every episode, with all the credits and everything there. So if we take 329 minutes and divide that by what's the amount again, guys? 230 what?
It's 230. I mean, do you want the exact amount?
Yeah.
Right now, by current rates, 230,909,958. So 230,909,958.
All right, then every single minute of the Acolyte, every minute, including the credits, $1.4 million per minute.
How is that possible unless you were just literally lighting it on fire?
I tell you
They
what,
must have,
Kathy,
I will make
you a Star
fried
Wars,
and caviar.
and it will be the gayest Star Wars ever, and it can go on for as many minutes as you want. I just need to make it to about 70 years old on $1 million a year, and we can just work out the math from there.
$1.4 million a minute. Don't
like genuinely
with,
asking everybody here if we were being in the best faith possible, or not best faith, the what am I trying to say here? Giving them the biggest benefit of the doubt. Is there genuinely any way this production shows that much money went into it? Where did this money go? Most of it was spent on them sitting and talking to each other, and then chanting maybe, and then there was one action scene, and that was about it. Like, where'd that money go?
Spencer, you're on it, because starts to beg the question, like, who's getting checks here? Like, who is paying for some of this stuff? Because I just can't imagine. I mean, the forest scenes, we laugh because the ferns looked like they were taken from Hobby Lobby and just readjusted for scene to scene. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. There are shows
I was laughing
10
about
times better than this.
I was laughing about the fact that they were bragging in the lead up to the release, like, oh yeah, we kind of abandoned the volume. We're going back to practical sets. Don't worry. And it was just basic hiking trails that I used to go on back in California when I was in college. Like, it wasn't a set. It was just outside.
And Lauren brought up a great point while we were watching the thing and reviewing it about how all of the costumes failed to have that look of having actually been worn. They all looked crisp, like they had just come out of the closet. So,
and you know what? I got to see
now they've come out of the closet with the budget, Jonas. Funny how those tax documents will do that.
I got to see those costumes up close, like on the show floor of this year's San Diego Comic-Con. And let me tell you guys, they don't look any more complicated than something you could go make at a Spirit Halloween in 30 minutes.
That's an insult. Ooh.
The money doesn't exist there. I don't know where it went.
Hey, lobster and caviar every day for lunch. That's but it's a lot of lobster. It's a lot of lobster. Lauren, I'm going to give you the final word on this one. Although Jonas is the author, so if he jumps in with something, then I can't stop him. But Lauren, your final thoughts on this thing costing well in excess of $250 million.
This goes back to what I've been saying for the last few videos that we've done, which is that I think the Acolyte truly rattled both Lucasfilm and Disney, because they knew this was going to come out. They knew that the number was going to eventually come out when those tax documents released. And as Jonas said, there's likely going to be more tacked onto that. That is embarrassing, but I don't think they can willow this thing, because it has been such a shock to them that trying to do that, pulling it, will absolutely be an admission that this was absolute dreck. They cannot afford that, even though they need to get rid of it. My belief is this is why the Rey movie is likely on hold, and I am betting that they're going to pull out of it. I think their justification will be, we know that Daisy Ridley has disclosed that she has an illness, and that gives them a way to back away gracefully, trying to save a little bit of face while they try to retool. I think the Acolyte is the straw that broke the camel's back. It's the stake in the heart of what Disney Star Wars has been. It is the thing that will force them to retool if they can. If not, they have to mothball the property.
Well, I think we can all walk away from this saying that Kathleen Kennedy teamed up with a former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, I guess in the rearview mirror, although some of us knew this ahead of time. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. All right, folks, you can help this video be a good idea for many, many more people. The power of many dollars? No, witches. By clicking that like button, share, subscribe, and folks, also that notification bell, click it and stick it to those algorithms. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on this sucker being more than $1 million per minute. And they certainly did not win it. Not an audience. No, nay, I say. Make sure to check out Spencer over at Bounding into Comics, where he continues to do fantastic work as the editor-in-chief over there. Lauren Connor doing a wonderful job on his channel, as well as right here, where we're glad to have him. And of course, Jonas J. Campbell. I don't know what you do, Jonas. Did you have anything to do with this story at all? I don't know.
I just want to point out the original Star Wars cost $11 million to make, which adjusted for inflation is still under $60 million.
You probably made that up. Go play some more pickleball.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. All right, folks. We'll see you real soon. We hope you enjoyed this video. It's an honor every time we get to share time with you. Thank you for inviting us into your day. Hope we added value. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing. May the Force be with you, and keep having fun.
Are you sick and tired of stuff being swept under the rug because you or the media are too lazy to actually deal with it? Or are things just building up around you so much that you can no longer ignore it? Also like the mainstream media? Well, I got the solution for you. I'm Wilton the Troll, and I want to tell you about this revolutionary new product called Jonas. That's right, no longer do you have to put up with stuff shoved under the rug. You can actually get rid of it and dispose of the problem in seconds by using Jonas. You can, in a matter of seconds, deal with the political and illogical buildup of the muck and grime around you effectively and efficiently with Jonas. You might think this is an ordinary vacuum, but you'd be wrong. You can clean up and remove from one end, but Jonas, he actually works from both ends. From the back end, Jonas can blow a whole bunch of hot air, and that's cool. Remember, folks, if you actually want to deal with the dirt and grime the mainstream media has been neglectful about, get Jonas, 'cause Jonas sucks.